right, full disclosure. We haven't been wearing these same clothes, sitting in these same chairs in the same location for a week. We're recording Gloucester Point and Richmond in the same day. We had a lot going on. So that's a perfect segue into Richmond.
You don't have to be perfect. Broken bones are worth their weight in gold. They prove you're alive. No fears or regrets. Just take the jump and hold your breath. It feels good to be alive. Oh, if you trip, get up again. Here we go, we're ascending. I feel so alive. I feel so alive. I feel the blood rush through my
Everything. What was your highlight of Richmond?
I just love spending time with friends. My friend Catherine, I have known her since, maybe 25 years. We went to middle school together. And
She's only 25 years old, y'all.
Yeah, I know. That's so weird. I've known her since I was an infant. Just kidding. But she's just the epitome of a good friend.
Yeah. And she's our board one on the Hug Your People board. So there's that. And they were so kind to us. I know. That's why I took over. These two, when we were pulling out, it was so funny.
We just both have that we cry connection.
Yeah, cry connection. I'll tell the story so that way maybe it'll save
works,
you.
Yeah.
Catherine Chatham, she has a huge heart. She's just a kind soul. Her and her whole family were so gracious all week. But the funniest story that came out of that is we were pulling out, and of course she brought her kids to come see us off, and so they wanted to see the whole process. So I'm not going to get too graphic, but we were at what's called a dump station. If you're in RV world, you know what that is. And these two are at the dump station hugging and crying at the dump station. And there's a line of people behind us waiting to come through what we've been through. And so that was probably a highlight of mine too, hanging out with the Chathams and just being able to share time with them. And they cooked for us, and it was amazing. And Bax got to hang out with their kids. And it was just
Royce hung out with
their dog. It was just all around a great time. So thank you guys so much for that.
I feel the blood rush through my veins. I can take on the world when you're next to me. And I feel so alive. I feel so alive.
Good friend of Corey, Catherine's husband, Aaron, and when Baxley had first got, I'm gonna cry.
We normally do this during the podcast,
I know.
but it's okay. You need to tag out? We met Aaron Redman, and I've known Aaron for a few years, way before we were diagnosed, and
Just from
trying
to
just
do
from real
vacations
estate.
in Myrtle Beach a lot.
Yeah, he vacations where we live, and so Aaron came over for dinner with us one night, and Aaron fought rhabdomyosarcoma in 1994 when he was 12, and Bax had rhabdomyosarcoma when he was 4, and to see Aaron now as a thriving adult, kind heart, he's on the board of nonprofits in Richmond, cancer advocate, child pediatric cancer advocate, just an amazing human. For us as parents, not Hug Your People, for us as parents of a child who fought cancer, to see that was very emotional, obviously, as you can tell.
I didn't cry when
No.
I kept it together.
She didn't cry at the cookout, but now later we process, and that's kind of how it hits us.
I processed before too. I was like, don't cry.
Yeah. So that was definitely an important moment for both of us. And I think we believe that on some level that by us being out here and sharing backs with people, that it'll have the same effect. And I think that was the big reminder for us that Aaron gave us hope. Aaron gave us a glimpse of our future, or potential future. He inadvertently said everything's going to be okay. And we hope that other families are feeling that with backs. And that as we go on, that more and more stories come out to these parents of it's okay on the end. It's okay on the end. Even though we know the stories have a huge array of outcomes, it really is just about spreading more hope than you can. If you can hear our dog, I don't know if you can, but Royce hears Mama crying, and he wants to be in Mama's lap so bad right now. So that, I think Richmond, that was the big takeaway from Richmond for both of us.
Yeah. So in Richmond, we were able to connect with the Ask Foundation, which is an amazing local foundation that services cancer families in that area in Richmond. And we were able to connect with a little boy, James Matthews. James Matthews is almost 2, and he has leukemia. He loves animals. He loves Sesame Street and Daniel Tiger Neighborhood, which I did find is actually hard to shop for in this store. So we did lots of animals, and we gave him a pillowcase that has lions on it, and got him some little play animals and things like that. And we did eventually make a second stop to get him the rest of the wagon because I am super forgetful, and hopefully I'll do a little bit of a better job. Usually we before we started on this trip, we had an SUV, so we were able to put the wagon completely together and just put it in the trunk because it just fits perfectly in the trunk. The flatbed truck, it was raining, so I couldn't just put it in the trunk. And then so it basically was folded up, and I had to put it together at their house. So learning experience for me, and with the rain, it is what it is. The weather comes, and I think same with the cancer. Like, you can't plan, so you just kind of got to roll with the punches. So that's what we did. I try not to let it get me down.
Yeah, she did great. There's a lot of moving parts when you're delivering wagons from the camping life, because we don't have a surplus of inventory. We can't keep a lot of wagons on hand.
We don't have a lot of room.
We don't have a lot of room. At home, at least we had a garage, so we could keep a few things there as staples. And then, like Sue said, put it together at home, put the whole thing together in our car. Here we can't do that because we just have so much life stuff. So, luckily it worked out. Everyone's super forgiving and understanding, and it ended up being no big deal, really.
Yeah.
But it is the kind of thing that we learn as we go in every aspect of our life right now. So that's what we do. I think one of the most phenomenal things about Richmond was the people. At the campground, of course, we mentioned our friends, the Chathams, but the people at the campground were amazing. We had to move sites for logistics, so we went from one site. Someone had booked that site later in the week, so we changed sites. Every time we do that, someone shows up and says, "Hey, I was trying to find you guys." And so it always works out as a blessing for us. But in the first time we were moving, Karen and Bob came up and asked about it, and they lost their daughter in 1988 to leukemia. And so we had a really good conversation, parent to parent. They were just amazing people. That was kind of the start of this couple days of really being in the mix of people that really care about us. We met another couple from Myrtle Beach. They were camp hosts at Pocahontas State Park, and they came up to us at the very end. We saw them, but probably the most impactful person we met was our friend Christine. She wasn't a friend until then. Just so happens that Catherine Chatham happened to be at our camper visiting when she was there. It was her birthday. She saw our camper. She came by and she asked us what it was about. She got online, looked us up, looked on the website, and for her birthday asked for donations. And donated a wagon that day. Her mom donated a wagon. Her friend donated a wagon. It was just an incredible snowball of her just being really attached to our mission so far, and their full-time folks as well, full-time RV folks as well. It just really was amazing, the people that we met, and I think that always makes it special. Like we talked about last week, or if you've watched this whole video in the last episode that just filmed a minute ago. The things we talked about are the things that frustrate us the most are generally the biggest blessings. Like moving sites in the middle of the week, not ideal. You have to pack everything up and move sites and then unpack everything and just for a couple days later pack everything up. But had we not done that, we would not have met Christine, right? We would not have probably met Bob and Karen on the level that we did. Or the folks from Myrtle Beach, probably wouldn't have seen them. So, because Bob and Karen told them about us, right? So it is that the struggle that we have brings us to the people we need to be around to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. And that's just amazing. Richmond was also important because it was our
50th wagon.
50th wagon.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
From the time we started this in 2019 to now, we've given 50 wagons to kids.
Yes, we gave away 22 wagons in 2019. That was when Baxley was first diagnosed. So we really did not give away our first wagon until July. So that's a really cool pace.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in 2020, that was COVID. That was also when Baxley finished treatment in July. So we only gave 8 away. But I think we were trying to figure out our new way of life after Baxley finished treatment, and we only had to be in Charleston every 3 months at that point, so we weren't connecting with families organically in clinic anymore, and also just trying to deal with, okay, what do you do mentally after cancer ends? But now in 2021 we're pacing really, really well. James Matthews was our 50th wagon, and after the Facebook post on the leukemia group, we got 8 more wagons after that, so it really shot our number up. So now we are up to 33 wagons in 2021, 63 wagons total.
Woo!
Which is really cool.
63 wagons total. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Since we left, how many wagons have been donated ballpark?
46.
46.
Ballpark.
So, and those aren't wagons that we've delivered.
Those
are
sponsored
wagons. So those are wagons that we have funded. So we have 46 wagons funded, which is amazing. So I'm very optimistic that we'll break the 100 mark this year,
Yes.
or at least in 2021, and that'll be amazing. So again, we wish that no kid needed one, but we're grateful that that we're able to provide a little bit of comfort.
I feel the blood